The Led Zeppelin song of the day at Me Teach Guitar is Celebration Day, because I am celebrating my 10th video right here, right now. That's gross. Yeah. 10 videos. Never thought I'd do one. Now I've done 10. I hope you're liking them, literally liking them. I hope you have subscribed. I hope you're sharing. If you haven't done any of those things, thanks for nothing. You know, let's go. Let's get on the bandwagon before it's too late. All right. Today, for the 10th lesson, we're going to do barre chords. B-A-R-R-E, barre chords. This is the bread and butter of guitar. First, you learn your open chords, your majors and your minors. Then you learn the barre chords, and that's what we're doing today. So, the barre chord shape. Here it is. I know it looks a little overwhelming, but I'm going to go over it with you right now. So, this is, first we're going to start with a root 6 barre chord, a root 6 major barre chord. And the reason it's called a root 6 is because we're going to be playing all 6 strings, and whatever note is on the 6th string that we're playing, that's going to be the name of the chord. So it is the root of the chord on the 6th string, a root 6 barre chord. So I'm going to take this shape and put it on the 5th fret because it's easiest for me. So my first finger, I am pinching all the strings down. Thumb position is very important. My thumb is in the middle of the back of the guitar, maybe sneaking up just a little bit. You need to apply pressure to the neck to get all 6 strings down. If I strum them all, they should all ring out. The only finger I'm using is my first finger right now. Okay. The rest of the shape, let's go to the 6th fret. Since I'm starting on the 5th, the next fret over is the 6th, and I will be putting my 2nd finger on the 3rd string. The next fret over is the 7th, and I will be putting my 3rd and 4th fingers on the 5th and 4th strings. So I am holding all 6 strings down with my 1st finger, and my 3rd, 4th, and 5th fingers are in this shape. And if I strum all the notes, that is an A major. Once you figure out this shape, the minors are gravy. All you need to do to make it a minor is to lift off your middle finger. So here is A minor, here's A major, here's A minor. Just adds again that little bit of sadness, that little bit of uncertainty to it. So this is an A, because that is the note, the 5th fret of the E string is an A. Next lesson, we'll probably get into notes of the guitar. Just for right now, take my word for it. The 3rd fret of the 6th string is a G. So if I use that as my bass, as my root, it is a G major barre chord. So my 1st finger holds down all 6 strings, and then we go 2nd finger on the 3rd string on the next fret over, 3rd and 4th fingers on the next fret over on the 5th and 4th strings. I hope I said that right. So if I hold it starting on the 3rd fret, it is a G major. If I remove my middle finger, it's a G minor, G major. So wherever you play this shape on the neck is what chord it's going to be. Now literally every chord is open to you on the neck without even moving your hands. Okay, here's an F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, right to C, no sharps there, C sharp, D, all right? So it's one shape that you play up and down the neck, and it gives you any chord you want. When you're moving your hand and trying to play different chords, This is a tip I gave a buddy the other day. Think about moving your wrist. Don't think about moving your fingers, taking them off and moving them. Your fingers need to stay pretty static. It's the same shape. You want as little movement as possible with your fingers. You want to minimize the distance between your fingers and the strings. So think about moving like the back of your palm, the back of your hand. Think about moving that down the fretboard and up the fretboard. I'm going to take that one step further. So if I'm playing that A major root 6 bar chord again, now I want to play an E. So here's the deal. We know, so in order to play an E, the 6th string open is an E. You should remember that from tuning. So I want this chord to start on the 0 fret, the open fret. So I take this same shape and move it all the way down the neck. I don't need my first finger anymore because there's no frets past the beginning of the neck. The beginning of the neck right here is called the nut. There's no frets on this side of the nut. I don't need my first finger anymore. The tuning of the guitar takes the place of my first finger. The nut takes the place of my first finger. So if I remove my first finger, but I still have the rest of the bar chord shape going, strum all 6 strings, there's my E major. Now you may recall when I first taught you an open E major, it was this shape. We just used different fingers. We used the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. Same thing for E minor, all we did was remove the 1st finger. It is this same shape that we are moving up and down the neck. But once we move past the open strings, we need to drag this nut along with us. That's where your first finger comes in. So if we take this nut, move it up to the 5th, which is an A, and the rest of that E major shape we have to do with the other 3 fingers. And minor is the same shape, just remove your 2nd finger. That's the concept behind it. It's the same shape, you're just moving it up and down. Okay, real quickly, the root 5 bar chords. There's only root 6 and root 5. There's no root 4, root 3, root 2, root 1. Don't worry about it. So root 6 is named after the note that we're playing on the 6th string. That is the root of the chord. So root 5, we're just skipping the 6th string now. It's the same concept. We're skipping the 6th string. So 5th fret on the A string is a D. Just take my word for it right now. This is a D. So if I want to make a D, a root 5D bar chord, it's a different shape. Here's the shape. First finger is still holding down the bottom 5 strings, still pinching. I'm just skipping the 6th string when I'm strumming. But the bottom 5 strings should ring out. And if you notice, we're skipping the 2nd fret, the next fret over, and we pick it up 2 frets out. So I need my 3rd finger 2 frets away. So if I'm starting on the 5th, my 3rd finger is going to land on the 7th fret. And I want to cover the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. I also want my finger, I don't want my 3rd finger to cover the bottom string, because I want that bottom string to be covered by my 1st finger, not the 3rd. This is not part of the chord. This is. So it's very tricky to get your 3rd finger to cover those middle strings and then bend up, still exposing that bottom string, the high E. It's very tough to get that down. You can do it with practice. What I do 90% of the time is I cheat a little bit. I actually just sort of cover all 4 strings with my 3rd finger. And when I'm strumming, I do my damnedest to not hit that bottom string. Because that bottom string, if you're covering it with your 3rd finger, is not part of the chord. Just like I said. So if 90% of the time I get kind of lazy with a root 5 major chord, and I'll just bar the bottom 4 strings with my 3rd finger, and not only start my strum 1 string late on the 5th, but then end my strum 1 string early on the 2nd. So this would be a D, my version of a bar 5, root 5, D major bar chord. Here's the open D. Here's that D bar chord again. Now every once in a while you can hear this note sneak out. It's an accident. It's not terrible, but it's not officially a D. It's a D6, D2? I don't remember what it is. It's in the D family, but it's not a D major. There's the open D. My kind of rule of thumb is if I need to play a chord with that much clarity, chances are I'm going to play the open version of the chord because it's easier for me to let all the notes ring out. Same thing with the C major. If I play the open version, but if I play a root 5 C major bar chord, I just try not to hit that bottom string. Very nice, I just got a notification. So that is the major shape for the root 5 bar chord. The good news is that the shape for the root 5, this is the shape for the root 5 major chord. I don't know what I just said. The good news is that the shape for the root 5 minor chord, you already know the shape. It is the root 6 major shape, but everything is moved down 1 string because it's a root 5. When you move everything down 1 string, that same shape now becomes a minor shape. That would be a D minor, same thing as this, the D minor open that I showed you. Now the D minor bar chord. This, I have no worries about hitting that bottom string because I don't have any funky bends on my 3rd finger. So I'm used to this shape and I have no problem letting each string ring out. So this is the minor shape. If it's a root 6, this shape is a major. If it's a root 5, it's a minor. That's just the way guitar works. You just got to accept it. Okay, rewatch the lesson. Same deal with the root 5. Wherever you move it on the neck, that is going to be the name of the chord. Whatever note is the 5th string for the root 5, that is the root of the chord, that is going to be the name of the chord. This is a D, this is a C, this is a B. We'll go over the names next visit. So a B, let's go up to C, D. Here's a E major. Now let's go down to the open. Here's the E major open. E major bar chord, root 5. Now here comes the E minor open chord. Now I'm going to do the minor bar chord. It's a different voicing, same chord though. All right, my head is popping up. 10 videos. Come on, like it, subscribe, something. Appreciate it. See you next time. Doop.